Look at that. Oh.
Shout out to everybody. We're back here, day 3 of the NFL draft. Myself, Jason Sarney. Boy, we've had a fun couple of nights here. We're joining you. The plan is, I guess, Jason has some – we're going to try to take you up until the Dolphins first pick at 116, and then we might come on after and recap everything. But it's a fluid situation, so we'll kind of go on the fly. The important things, we're here with you guys now, getting you ready, and the day 3 is starting. This is where a lot – of starters, this is where your drafts are made, right? The first 2 days, but day 3 is where you can get some backups, depth, some starters here. The Dolphins need another one, and some special teamers. But we got 7 picks today. We went with Kenneth Grant, Jonas Savannah. We beefed up the front. Jason, where are you heads at here? Where's your head out here entering day 3?
Exactly right. You got to find a third starter at the very least. You know, you're hoping to get 4 or 5 this draft. But sitting at the 14th pick in the 4th round, so about an hour and a half maybe until the pick. We'll see what goes, but they got to make a move, man. They got to do something.
Yeah. What are you looking at? Are you looking secondary or are we looking at best player available here? Let's not get too cute, right? Let's go by the board. We got our meat and potatoes, and we can kind of settle down now here. Go with the board. The board kind of lines up what they need. How about we pop on the best available? We'll do what we did last night here. Let's go right here. Let's pop on the – who are some of the guys you like as I'm doing this, Jason?
Joshua Farmer, Kyle McCord. Those are 2 at the top of my list. Jalen Royals. George, one second, brother.
Sure. Yeah, I'm looking at the top of the here. We got Sanders still available, right? Shedeur Sanders is available. What's the story with him? Why is he dropping so far? Is it the stuff that everybody talks about, the entourage, all that stuff that comes with it, or do teams don't just see a first or second round quarterback? But I have a hard time believing Sanders can play. He's a good quarterback. I didn't see him as a round 1 player, but he shouldn't be dropping this far. And when does the risk? When does the reward outweigh the risk? And we got to look at that possibility. I don't think the Dolphins will be going there at pick 116. I don't think they'd take that in, but I mean, it's a possibility. I wouldn't hate it because at this point in the draft, you want another starter, but if the value's too good, you go ahead and take them. I mean, Jalen Royals is still there. Deebo Samuel, like wide receiver, kind of he has that in him. Jalen Lane, if you want a speedster. Jason mentioned before you had to hop off real quick, Joshua Farmer, the defensive tackle out of Florida State. Big upside. He did really well in the Senior Bowl. I'm surprised he's still on the board. And one point I'll make is we talk about change the tone, change the mentality at the line of scrimmage. If you wanted to do that at the skill positions, there's 2 guys I think that fit that mold. I haven't really talked about Cam Scottibo, but imagine you got physical up front, you got a physical back like him. There's not many guys who run like him or who seek contact like him. So he would kind of continue that change of philosophy, change of mentality. And I'll give you a tight end who went to Yale, not in round 4, maybe round 5, Jackson Hawes. Physical blocking tight end, inline tight end. He's probably the best blocking tight end in this draft. Those are 2 skill position players. While you would change kind of, we want to go for need, and you got to be careful, right? You just can't, in the 4th round, you don't want to just go need. You got to look at your board and stick to it because it can be dangerous. Those are 2 guys I think at the skill positions I think could benefit us with that attitude change and mentality, even though it's everybody wants corner, everybody wants safety. So look, another tight end, Gunnar Helms available. Of the corners, let me pull up the corner board best available who I like currently. We have Quincy Riley. We had Corey Chavis on a few days ago. Quincy Riley was a guy he mentioned as a scheme fit for the Dolphins. They've worked him out. They brought him in for a visit. I know they like him a lot. And I got Jason Sarney. What's up, Jason?
We're getting on.
Can you guys hear me in the chat? We're back. Sorry about that. I had to take care of some business here. Jason, unfortunately, Jason had some issues. He's not able to go on, but I'll keep you guys here for a little bit. We'll keep you guys here for a little bit. I'll hang out with you guys. All right. So we were talking about the two guys, Jackson Halls and Cam Scottaball, as guys who'd be a fit for the Dolphins as far as attitude and mentality change. And I want to shout out to the big board I had, guys. I had 70 of my first 70 out of the top 75, 70 guys just went. 70 guys out of the 75 went, and I had 86 out of the top 100. So I'll pat myself up on the back on the big board, and we appreciate it, everybody in the chat. Okay, let's take a back look at the best available guys. Let me see here. All right, so corners, right? We were talking about corners. Quincy Riley's a guy they brought in. Is a guy they brought in and a workout they're interested in. He fits the system. Za Frazier's another guy I like a lot. Za is, a big upside swing here. He's 6'3", 186, ran 4.36. The tape is good. He's got long arms. He's good man coverage guy. He was at the end of my top 100 board. I'm a big fan. Dorian Strong, Denzel Burke, Kobe Bryant. There's guys here if the Dolphins wanted to go in that direction. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got going here with safeties. I want to get to the safeties. Billy Bowman Jr. He was in my 70s, I think, or 80s. I got to go back and look. But I know people are going to talk about the size with Billy Bowman Jr. Good afternoon, everybody. Shout out to everybody. Adrian, what's up? Adrian, anybody wants to pop on? Jason had to go. I'll send the link in the chat if anyone wants to come in and join me here. We're going to be on until probably about 1 o'clock. Jason had some technical difficulty, so he had to get off, but we're breaking down. We're here. We're breaking everything down. I'll send the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on, Adrian or anybody. I'll put it in the chat. You guys can get your thoughts on what's going on and where you like the Dolphins to go for the rest of this draft. Okay, so safeties, Billy Bowman Jr. Here's the thing about Billy Bowman. He's small, right? He's 5'10", 192, but he plays like a missile. He plays bigger than his size. He's got a 25% missed tackle rate. That concerns me. I worry about that, but I love him on tape, what he does for his size. He plays a lot bigger, and he's a playmaker. He's a missile out there. I would have no problem taking Billy Bowman Jr. here at pick 16. Shout out Jonathan in the chat. How you guys doing? Again, if anybody wants to come and join, you're welcome to come up. The link's in the chat. Joshua Farmer, yes, Hammer. Big fan of his. He's got big upside. He was great at the Senior Bowl. Really great. I'm surprised he's not off the board here. Jonathan, how you loving these first? Oh, man, I love him. Jonathan, I love him. We identified the trenches. We went physical. I was a big Jonas Savaiinaea guy. You guys know that. Also, we had in the first round, Kenneth Grant. I'll put it to you this way, guys. I know I keep mentioning the big board, but we had a good success rate on the big board. Again, 70 of the top 75 are gone off the big board, 86 out of 100. And I had Kenneth Grant at number 14 on the board and Jonas Savaiinaea at number 39. They went 13 and they went 37. These are two players, Jonathan, that I thought changed the culture and attitude of this franchise. That's what they needed to do. I'm so happy they did that. This is a draft they should have had probably in 2020. I think, Chris Greer, I mentioned earlier, maybe took the time and said, look, I'm doing it my way. I'm getting criticized. My wife's getting criticized at the grocery store. But if I'm going to get criticized and I'm going to go out like this, it's going to be my way, the kind of draft I want. And I think he has his hands all over this draft. I love it, Jonathan. A draft to me, A+. It depends. It depends what we do can make it a tick up or a tick down today. Andrew Whitlock, chances of us going DT. Yeah, double dip at the position. Let's look at the defensive tackles. It's a strong, strong group. This is a very deep group. Defensive tackles, we have available Ty Robinson. We mentioned Joshua Farmer. Ty Robinson gives you that different look. He's almost in that Zach Sealer mode, right? He's 6'5", 288, ran 4.83 in the 40, jumped 33.5 inches. So he's more of that 3-5 technique. Kind of, you got Kenneth Grant, and Kenneth Grant can play when Sealer comes out. Grant can play with Robinson, or Grant, can play with Sealer. So J.J. Pegas is a guy they like a lot, I've heard. Big defensive tackle at Ole Miss. Man, how did Ole Miss not play? Ole Miss has a ton of players getting drafted. Deion Walker, who is a project player, right? He's a guy who big, 6'7", 330 pounds. I don't like his – it's funny, Jason and I would go over this. I didn't love his skinny bottom half. He's got real skinny legs, but he's a monster. I'm not surprised he's still around. He's an upside play. I'm not a huge fan as I got in the Tonka Hemingway, Anitas Peebles, Ty Hamilton. Yeah, definitely. The board, it's a deep defensive tackle group. So I wouldn't be surprised in the double dip again. Let's see who got picked. So far. Did it start the rounds? Okay. Wide receiver, Jameer. Oh, wow. This is an upside play. He's fat. He's a good player. He's dangerous after the catch, man. I mean, I think there's some tools there for him to get better. I'm surprised he went this high, but I think they went upside player and got weapon for Cam Ward in Tennessee. I would like Tennessee to come back and get Xavier Restrepo come back and put him together with Cam Ward. Okay, we got our guy back. Jason, how you doing?
My bad. Technical difficulties. We are back. As they say, Jimmy Fallon used to say, and we're back.
Jonathan, Jason. Luckily, this is the draft time. We've been through a lot of prospects. I could probably talk on my own for 7 hours about a lot of these guys. So what we were getting to, just to keep you updated, Shamir Dyke went from wide receiver from Florida. Okay, when do we pick again? We pick at 116.
13 picks left, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it goes fast. I think we'll get it in by the time I'll jump on possibly after the Dolphins pick. Sound good, because Jason might have to be going out real quick.
Pending. My youngest has a soccer game, so here until that. Then obviously after that, back at it.
Yeah. We're shout out to 170 people already in the chat. Thank you guys. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. Jason, who are the guys you're loving at the top of the board here?
I really, I put out an article on Dolphins Wire. I like Alec Iumana, a wide receiver out of Stanford, who is like a really fluid physical blocker and chain moving receiver, tall, good size. I like Jalen Royals from Utah State, big play potential kind of kid. Led 2 years ago, he's coming off a foot injury, but 2 years ago he led the nation with 7 touchdowns of over 50 yards. So 15.2 yards per catch the last 2 seasons consistently in average. And he averaged last season in his 7 games, going off memory here, 119 yards a game. But I really, truly love Joshua Farmer from Florida State. Look, if the theme of the trenches continue, and if you're looking at a thin room depth-wise for the 3 tech who could really maybe be like the kind of bookend almost to Sealer. So you got like Sealer, Grant, and who? I think you could draft Farmer and put him there. Pass rushing kind of kid, explosive, good athlete. Obviously a little refinement needed, but I think he's got a really good foundation for growth as a developmental D lineman in a rotation that Anthony Weaver likes to employ. So I love him. And the guy who I would think would be a trade-up candidate, he is potentially. But Billy Bowman, man, is sitting out there, ball hawking kind of kid who can play special teams as well from Oklahoma. Like him, and Latham Ransom, another safety who could kind of play up in the box, hybrid linebacker-ish, nickel. When he tackles, he's got like the peanut punch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he likes the knockout.
He brings some heat. He's a hard hitter. Yep. Shout out to the dive bar. Oh, we miss you, Bobby. Bob, thank you, Bobby, and Finn, Sammy, and the TV. Guys, fantastic show yesterday. They went over 3 hours with us. We can't thank those boys enough. Check out their pages, Finn's TV with Finn, Sammy, and the dive bar. Those are not just partners on YouTube. Those are brothers and those are friends. So thank you guys. You always have a welcome invitation on this show. We appreciate you guys, what you did. All right. And Jonathan, shout out. Jonathan, I'll send you the link in your DM. And also the links in the chat if you want to, in case after the pick you want to jump on. All right. You said, Bashal Tootin, the running back, fast. Yeah. He went 104 to the one of my top 100. You mentioned Elika Amanwar. He's my 100 player on the board, the last player. Yeah, so
I'll tell you, man. Yeah, he's kind of. I mean, he has an injury history, but he played every game last year for Stanford. Led the team in touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, I know that they kind of brought in, a wide receiver similar to that. But you have to think getting bodies in there for wide receivers for a room if you're gonna have 1 year at max with Tyreek Hill. They're different type of players for sure. But that's where Jalen Royals kind of comes in, is kind of like an X who could play the slot, who's a deep play threat. So I think the Dolphins have several ways they can go. And then the X factor, who it is quarterback Kyle McCord. But with Shedeur Sanders available, with Quinn Ewers, with Will Howard, very interesting quarterback market right now.
Okay. Please say what team a guy went to. Sure. We can
do that. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm a little behind.
But yeah, Bashal,
you're probably ahead of me.
As Virginia Tech. I was just going to mention Scatterbo.
I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Are you on live like network TV? I'm on YouTube TV.
On my iPad, I got I'm streaming the draft.
Oh wow, Cam.
He was the guy I mentioned. He was the guy I mentioned. If you wanted to go continue the tone change of, and you wanted to go skill, him and Jackson Hall would have been guys. But I knew. Shout out to Cam Scotterbo, my number 95 player. Okay. So, Jason, what do you think of that pick, Scotterbo?
I think the Giants are probably in potential to put themselves at the top of the draft in terms of grades. They're doing really, really well. And this is a good pick. They're going to love him in New York. He's look, they've had a lot of success with that kind of big back with Brandon Jacobs style, like just a powerful mover. I know obviously you could say that there's differentiation there, but they love themselves some power football in their history. So yeah, Cam, they trench up with Abdul Carter. Didn't they make another good defensive pick after Jackson Dart?
Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter. Where did the Giants? Let's see where the Giants went.
I'm gonna check that out right now. But
Giants, they went.
Yeah, Darius Alexander. They did real well.
Great draft. They're having a really good draft. My cousin James is a huge Giant fan. He was with me day one, and he's probably pumped. He was probably pumped getting Scatterbo. Let's bring it back to the best available. Guys, are you having trouble watching on Twitter? I just got a notification.
Yeah, I just got a notification too.
Yeah, it's something going on X.
Whatever it is, still got 238, which is amazing. Yeah, great. Yeah. But
I'm not sure what's going on with X. I don't know what the deal is. We're just gonna run. We'll run whatever goes. I can't tell if it's on X or not. I don't see the live, but it's interesting.
It's all good. Let's continue it, and whoever's
here, So all right, best players available here. Let's go with.
Now look, best player available or best player for the Dolphins could
let's
be
look
different.
Let's look at safeties because
great.
The safety position is pretty interesting here. Billy Bowman, I'm banging the table for him. Smaller guy, don't put the size concerns away. Kick a play. RJ Mickens is a guy I know they like, and I know Jalen Reed. You haven't mentioned Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed's kind of like that, I love Kevin Winston Jr.
Yep.
But Jalen Reed is a kind of guy that could actually be a better player in the future, but he's got a little more work to do than Winston Jr. But he's, again, 2-year starter. I think he's somebody who, if the Dolphins take, you remember when they took what's the safety out of Georgia, Rashad Jones, late. I think this is a guy that, I'm not saying he'll be that player, but this is the type of player that is not ends up being drafted higher and better than his slot. The Patriots are on the clock right now at 106, so we're moving here. We're 10 more picks. Let's look at some other guys I like. You said quarterback, right? You said Shedeur Sanders. What is it? Is it that he's, how do I put this? Is it just the entourage and off-field stuff, or do you think teams don't see him? There's no way a team can't see him as a third-round quarterback, though. Like, if you're taking Dylan Gabriel, I love Craig Woodson. Great pick. Great pick. This could be a safety run here. Yeah, this could be a safety run.
This is a position we spoke about it where the safety group is a little odd in the way it's falling, So, I mean, I would hope that the Dolphins dip their toes in this market, but I don't see two viable, surefire day one starters for them when you look at their room. And last year, ready for this? No interceptions from a safety, none, 0 across the board for the Dolphins. 1 forced fumble, and that was it.
Yeah.
Javon Holland's punch out of Travis Etienne against the Jaguars. So they need a ball hawk. They need people who could help turn the ball over. You also think cornerback, but I think cornerback could be a little delayed to the 5th. You mentioned 5th is a fun round. DB could be had in the 4th. I want safety, and then cornerback would be a nice round 5.
Yeah, and they kept. Let's not mistake. They kept mentioning that the cornerback position is somewhere they think they can pick up a guy. They mentioned teams that were in the Super Bowl that had guys in the 5th and 7th round. I don't. Again, Chris Greer tells you the truth when you really listen, right? If you really pay attention. I think they would like to get a corner here or safety, ideally, but I'm not ruling anything else out depending on what's on the board for them. What's clear is they're looking for starters. They need one more starter. So I think they got to go to a guy. I don't see them taking a guy who's going to be a role player here, right? You think they're going to try to guy who can come in and compete for a starting job? Would you agree with that, or is anything open here for you, like quarterback?
Like I said, I've been saying this. I love the special teams factor of playing two phases. Whatever your position is, do that well. But also they have this ability, and to me, that does scream Latham Ransom. If you want like a dog special team tackler kind of guy who could block punts, he did a couple of them a couple of years ago. Another Billy Bowman is another special teams guy.
Love him,
or someone who could return. If you're going to draft a cornerback or a wide receiver, can they factor in and help out in a return game? Can they be potential gunners or aces? You know what I mean? Like, Jack Kaiser. Speaking of the devil, this is the round. The Jaguars get linebacker Jack Kaiser, who could be a good linebacker, and he could be a dog special teamer. And that's where I'm at.
Great. We talked about him a lot, right?
Starter.
Didn't we
I'm
mock
out of the cornerback market?
Didn't we mock Kaiser to the Dolphins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to go this side, but he's a great player. Kaiser's a guy, again, when I talk about guys who are going to be drafted, maybe play more significant role than where they're actually drafted. Kaiser's a guy who can play, I think, get some defensive snaps, not only be in special teams.
Absolutely.
I think Kaiser's played like the most games in Notre Dame history, if I'm not mistaken. Something crazy like that. And you know the guys who've been through that Notre Dame program. So, boy, there's still some good players on the board, though. So we are best available.
We're chugging along here. We're going to get to that Dolphin pick probably in about 25 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, wow, it's going good.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks.
At this point, folks.
Let's address the elephant in the room, Jason. What would you do if he's there? Let's say he's there at 116. Do you have the conversation in the building?
The funny thing is,
the long pause.
The entire league has passed on him 3-point couple of times, and there's got to be a reason. So now the question is, whoever takes him has to answer the question, what did you see in him that everyone didn't, or what did you not want to care about that everyone saw?
Yeah.
And I don't want to answer either question. So instead of picking someone who is crumbling down, I'd much rather get someone who's right in the sweet spot of where they should be.
Yeah, but it's a conversation to have, right? Like they
didn't.
A quick one. But look, if they're going to draft the quarterback, I know you're a McCord fan. I just don't think all that comes with it. It's not the fit for us, right? If I'm Cleveland, I would have took him over Dylan Gabriel. I think that's the worst. I'm surprised.
Yeah. I was thrilled when I saw that pick come off the board that it wasn't a guy like McCord, because he played in Ohio and Ohio State. It's like, why would you pick a kid who might not be, acclimated to the weather very well, West Coast kid, and I don't know if he has like earlier upbringing or background anywhere on the East Coast. I'm not so sure, but I don't see it. I think the Browns are basically setting themselves up for who the heck cares what happens in 2025. In 2026, we're going to be in whatever top end market we can be for the quarterback.
Yeah, shout
for the
out to
Pats Manning.
we got about 280 people watching. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure if you're watching anywhere else, come on over on YouTube. Hit that like button. It's the thumbs up and the little bell to subscribe. It takes a second. I know it's a pain we keep asking, but it's a big deal for content creators, and it kind of helps us with all the work we put in. Go ahead, Jason.
I will give you fair warning. If for whatever reason, remember Kyle McCord is from Jersey. If he goes to the Jets, I'm just going to very politely put the earphones down and say I'll see you all on the flip side, because that might put me over, and I'm fearing that right now.
Oh man, Raiders pick Dante Thornton Jr., a guy we liked a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
But I'll tell you what, Amon Wari is a Jalen Royals. Man, those two receivers, especially Royals. Royals has got some Debo to him. I know McDaniel probably likes Royals a lot. And Amon Wari, you want to talk about tough?
Yeah.
Physical
blocker. Like,
this guy seeks contacts. I'm warming up to that idea here. At pick
I would be fine.
Yeah.
That is a Greer-ish and a McDaniel-ish pick. But I really don't want to get on it's a McDaniel pick. Clearly, this is going to be a –
yeah, but I mean, he's got to give his coach something. Like,
of course.
But agreed. Look, they could just go all meat and potatoes here. Like, it could be that, right?
Josh Farmer, if they want to go. See, the funny thing is, if they want to add like depth at nose, your boy is available, like Deion Walker, 6'7" freak. But I think
upside down Christmas
double
tree.
Up there. I just needed another excuse to bring him up. But if you want like tall outside wide receivers, they just lost one in Dante Thornton, but you got Torrey Horton available, 6'2". You got who else is available? Pat Bryant. Did Bryant go? Bryant went. Bryant went.
Yeah. That was a surprise. He went a big upside, but he went quick.
Yeah.
Let's look at the receiver list. Why don't we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's have fun here. This is day 3. Anything goes. Anything goes. All right. Best available wide receivers. The first guys on the top, Jalen Lane, Isaiah Bond. Like, I think he's a player. This might be untouchable.
It's the off the field.
We got a trade here. Buffalo. Did Buffalo come up to 109? Looks like.
Uh-oh.
What could Buffalo be targeting here? Buffalo.
Watch them get Restrepo.
Yeah, they received pick 109. They gave the Bears fourth round pick 132 and fifth round pick 169. So that would have been the cost to come up. It could have.
What was it? Say it again.
132 and 169, and they gave up
not
109. A lot. So we could have probably done something, but I think we like the board here.
Stick.
You know what I want to make a point is? I know we love the Savanea pick, and then we had that gap. We had no picks. The way the board fell, I got to give Greer credit. I wasn't like in love after Xavier and Watts. Like, I could stay at 116 and get a guy, right? Like, the board didn't what was there. It wasn't like, oh man, we didn't get it. You know what I mean? So I think the board fell. Greer might have played it right.
If you're talking about how he played it, I'll metaphorically say it to slow playing a pair of aces in poker. He's got a pair of aces in Kenneth Grant and Jonas Savagnier, and instead of going all in and putting different chips in and seeing what you can do and who's in, who's out, whatever, and just flushing things and trying to get a full house, they're literally slow playing their aces to see what everyone else is doing. And they're going to be fine with just scrapping it together. And, if they get 2 pair, they get 2 pair. You know what I mean? So they'll win the hand, I think, because they're doing well in the trench market. They still have 7 picks left. But he's playing the board, sitting back, and Deion Walker just went to the Bills, of course.
The offer remain ups. No, I won't say anything. He's a good. Now we can rag on him. He's a Bill, right?
They're gonna love him though. They're gonna love the size. They're gonna. Oh,
he's got big upside. He's got big upside, Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. We talked about that on the show. 6'7", 331. Still though, he's got a long way to go. He plays real upright. He's got, his pad level. He's got a long way to go. But if he hits, he's a guy you say, wow, they got him in round 4. And in Buffalo, probably chances are he'll hit, right? Our luck. Go ahead.
I'm nervous. The Jets are on the clock.
You really want – I hope we take Kyle McCord for you, okay?
You know what? I'm not saying this.
No,
is
because
like
you want him, dude.
anti-Tua.
He's a guy you want. You know, and you have conviction. It's okay to have conviction on this guy. Of the quarterbacks, you like this kid a lot, right? And you would know
it is not an anti-Tua.
Yeah, no,
you know,
absolutely not.
That clear.
I'm going to make this clear. We're not. This show is not anti-Tua. What we do here is objectively. I treat Tua as I treat Austin Jackson, right? I don't do that game. I evaluate what my eyes see. Okay, so we don't do we want a quarterback to start developing a young guy to get reps because all we got is Zach Wilson and nothing behind. It's not a top priority, but maybe in one of the 5th round picks, they have 3 5s. They might do it. I don't know if McCord will be there. I kind of doubt it. But I hope they get him because you really like this guy and he's in your backyard, right?
I mean, he's from the area where I'm a New Yorker, but living in Philly now. If the Eagles get him as a backup, they'll love it. If the Jets, they'll love it. The Giants already want quarterback, but forget locality, forget all that fun stuff. But I just think that Zach Wilson is a fun 1 year. All right, we'll take him. Hopefully he finds his way somewhere else, a la Darnold, right? But to me, even if Tua is the guy for the next, let's call it 2-3 years of quality, awesome, knock on wood, he can do everything. Yeah. I'd like a 4-year guy who might, for a year or two, just be the understudy, be the backup, plays 2 games. He split, play 3 games, won 2 of them. You know what I mean? And then you start to have the conversation because this is a league, folks, that is having, with the exception of a very few, quarterback developmental issues. Look at the Trevor Lawrence draft. He's the only one remaining on his team. Everyone else is on their 3rd team, Zach Wilson included. So it would be nice to go the old school route. I don't care if it's a clipboard holder. You need a clipboard holder. You need a smart kid who could say, you know what? I realize I'm being drafted for this now. And you need me? All right, Tua is unavailable because of a hip for a week. Put me in. We got a home game against freaking the Browns. Let's freaking go. I got this. 21-10. Let's do it. Like that's what we need. And if he's phenomenal in his game that he plays or multiple games, and Tua is still your guy, then you turn a 4th round drafted quarterback into maybe capital for another need. It's stocks. It's buying low, selling high.
Look at Green Bay.
Hold.
Green Bay takes one. You don't necessarily mean because you're trying to replace your starter. You want a guy having the pipeline. The only other quarterback we have on the roster is Zach Wilson. We have nothing even on 3rd or 4th. So we're going to definitely bring in camps if we don't draft one. A couple, I would say, highly touted UDFA quarterbacks. I would think some of the top ones. My guess would be right. Who knows?
In theory, absolutely. Yeah. But if there is lessons to be learned, and I hate necessarily saying, well, this year that happened, and don't draft anybody in the 4th. No one's successful for the Dolphins. But if you draft a 7th round quarterback or an undrafted quarterback, many, 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 many times more often than not, that's exactly what you're getting. But if you're in the 4th or 5th round, there could be a little bit more relative upside to be a rosterable 53-man player for a career and be able to potentially start and get somewhere in a second contract as a starting quarterback, maybe even with your team. No, Tom Brady's don't get hit every other couple of years. It's just once in a generation, essentially, for 7th round or undrafted. It's just that rare. So to me, if you don't do it in, the next 2 picks, maybe just get the best available on the 7th just to have him in there. But you're getting Skylar Thompson 2.0 potentially.
Yeah, we're at pick 110 with the New York Jets. We're live with you guys on YouTube and X. Thanks, everybody. We have over 320 people watching. Guys, thank you so much on day 3. You're staying with us. Everybody in the chat, Finn, Sammy, Jonathan, Kosa, Finn's TV, Hammer, everybody, the Dive Bar, Jonathan, everybody who joined in the chat. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe and like to the channel. Come on over and check us out. This is the place to be. Jason Sarney and myself. We've been live with you guys every day of the draft. All right, so Jonathan made a point here. Couldn't love more than hitting the trenches again. Let's take a look at the trenches, guy, Jason. How about that?
Yeah,
absolutely. Let's see what's available on the offensive line, for example. If you want to double dip, Marcus Bowe. like that's a good value pick. Go ahead.
No, continue on yours, and then I'll jump in there.
Yeah, Bo is a versatile offensive line, really athletic. He's a guy who can play kind of like a mini Zach Tom version. Remember when he came out, really would fit the wide zone scheme here.
Wide zone scheme, right?
Yeah, and he could play a bunch of line positions. Miles Frazier, and our guy. Shout out to Jackson Slater. I sent him I sent him a message today wishing him good luck. So Jackson, I doubt you're watching, but if you are, good luck, buddy. I hope you get picked soon. Yeah, there's some good options of these guards, right?
All right. Well, number one, I could do. The Jets went with Arian Smith from Georgia. Fine.
Yeah.
It's not someone that I would have wanted on our.
They went speed.
They went speed, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Not a bad player. I'm happy.
Seems like the receivers. There's a receivers going early here.
Pick your poison time. Do you want a speedy vertical threat? Do you want a slot receiver? Do you want a chain mover? Do you want a guy who could help out, on special teams? There's a lot of different ways teams can go, and that's how their board falls. Not our board, not mock draft simulator, not anything. It's their board. Case in point, it's like I show me who had Shamari, DK from Florida. I no idea he would go at that point. Up. Ty Robinson goes to the Eagles. Of course.
Great pick. Great.
Oh, my God. Goes to Adam Gase right now. I feel for you, brother. If you're watching.
Oh, he's a big Ty Robinson.
Bobby, check on your boy.
Bobby,
check on. Oh, no. Ghost.
Ghost is loving him some Ty Robinson. Man, the Eagles know how to do it, don't they? They know how to do it. And they lost. Who's the guy they lost this? The big defensive tackle they lost this offseason. Williams?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Chat can his name's something, but he's like a Zach Sealer type,
That's exactly what they comped him as.
Oh, they did?
Well, the dive bar guys.
Yeah. Oh, the dive bar. Yeah, he's
kind of he'd be a Sealer.
Yeah. He's kind of in that mold. He ran 4.83 at 290 pounds. So much he moves, man. All right, so let's get back to Jonathan's question about the trenches. Milton Williams. Thank you, JC. Shout out. JC, I appreciate that.
Milton for the Eagles, yeah.
All right, so we just had Ty Robinson going to the Eagles. We're at pick 112. I think we're close. We might be able to get it in, Jason. All right, so
we're gonna get it in. We'll get it in.
Yeah, the trenches guys. Frazier and Bo stand out to me here, and Slater. Clay Webb is a guy I like a lot as a sleeper, maybe in the 5th round. He could even go higher at Jacksonville State.
Both can go here. Oh, no, they already went offensive line.
Yeah. The trenches, good guys available there. On the defensive side of the trenches, if you want to double dip, Joshua Farmer's still there, man.
That's my guy.
That's interesting. That's somebody you want to secure the defensive line, a 3-rim rotation of Farmer, Grant, and Sealer. Wouldn't hate it, right?
We can't.
You can't go crazy. You got to stick to your board here a little bit, right? The Dolphins have a lot of needs. They started out right. They settled everything down, right? Everything was the sea settled. They went trenches. Now you can kind of breathe a little bit and take what you feel. If this guy's, you didn't expect him to be there, pull the trigger, right? Because they can use depth in most positions. We would both like a starter. Let me ask you this. Would you go corner here? Because I probably have guys rated. I wouldn't go corner. I have guys rated higher. No. Yeah, like wide receiver right now is a sleeper need with the Tyreek Hill situation. And fans probably wouldn't, another weapon. But if you're going to your board and defensive tackle again, I'd have Farmer over one of these corners. The O-line.
Remember, rookie contracts, rookie years and contracts. You want to, for lack of a better, you want control. And I hate saying it like that, but instead of bringing in a year or two signed free agent, roll the dice. If you know you're going to lose Tyreek Hill, you know it. And that's like, at best, 19, 20 games that he's going to play. That's if they make the playoffs with them. It's less than that, folks. You got to bring in a wide receiver, not necessarily a carbon copy of him, because you paid Jalen Waddle to be the number one. So you might want a compliment to him, which might say a tall, big body wide receiver who could move the change, or do you want to kind of insert Malik Washington into that role? So Jalen Royals, to me, I think would be a really home run, no pun intended, pick. So if they go Jalen Royals here, that's my home run wide receiver.
Yes.
If they go physical grit, it's Alec Manor.
Yeah. Yes.
If it's a quarterback, we all know the name. And if it's defense, it's Farmer or Billy Bowman for me. Sorry to rattle off.
Jason, we I don't even have to repeat it. We are aligned on each of the names there.
Yeah.
You know, probably because we've done this show so much together, like it's natural, but we are aligned. The two receivers.
You did a great job on your board, kind of putting me into. All right, you know what?
Great pick here.
I mean, Manor is an example of like on your board.
Yeah.
It caught my eye. I'm like, I'm going to move him up over, your Torrey Hortons or other receivers.
Yeah, he was on to pick 100 again. Yeah, I didn't tweet it to brag, but like when Jeremiah, when Jeremiah said he's got 6 only left of his top 75. Well, guess what? I won up you, Jeremiah. 70 of the top 75 were off the board, and 86 out of 100. So it was a lot of work. A lot of people helped. Jason, thank you guys so much. Everybody shout out, said the board was good. We hit on some things. Not only do we hit Kenneth Grant was the 14th rated player, went 13. Jonas Savannah, 39th rated player, went 37. So we had him. So people say he didn't reach for me. Stutzman was on my top 100. So he is a long, fast linebacker who's an old school throwback linebacker. I like Danny Stutzman a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna let you lead on in with him. I know you liked him.
Yeah. He's big, long, fast, old school player. You watch his highlight. I'm watching it on NFL Network. Yeah, I think I had him somewhere in the 80s or 90s. Probably, I think in the 90s. And he's a, I didn't like this. The guys I had was Schlesinger. Then I had DeMarcus Knight Jr. and they went. I didn't like the Barrett Carters. I didn't like the Chris Paul Jr.'s. Everybody said they were going the Smell Mundins. I didn't have any of those guys in my top 100. And I just didn't see it. I kind of had a feel for where linebackers also tend to fall. But DeMarcus Knight Jr. was a guy who was older, but I loved. I was glad to see him get his dues and go 49 because he deserved it. Sometimes you got to put everything aside and watch the tape. And this guy was clearly better than the rest of these guys. But Stutzman, I'm surprised went lower than I thought he had a chance to crack the top 100. And Jason, I appreciate you tweeting out about the board, man. Thank you so much, man.
It was amazing.
And Jason,
such an undertaking.
And Jason, you want Jason that hits on these other things that I don't hit on. Jason hits, especially with the trades, dude. Yesterday he was like, George, I think we should go live early because I think they're moving up. Oh, CJ West. Another guy in my top 100.
With situations like that, and thank you. I thought they were going to move up to number 36. They moved up to 37. It was a fair trade. So if you want to use the metrics of the Rich Hill board or the Jimmy Johnson board, negligible, things were fair. But you had to. Chris Greer has moved up and has done things, moved up or down in the majority of the drafts that he's administered, or at least half the drafts he's done trades. 2020 did a trade, a couple trades. He did a trade last year. He did a trade this year. He's done trades in the past, back to the Josh Rosen deal where he made a deal before the deal. So he's always wheeling and dealing. And I think it was said in one of the press conferences, they were trying to call back into the first round. They were trying to call back into the third. But you can't dance alone. You need someone to want to do it, and you need for them to be like, that's a fair deal. And Chris Greer is not. Here's where I'll give him credit, for better or for worse. And he's proven this. His hand is steady. If he says he's going to, all right, I'm going to leave. I'm going to hang up the phone. All right, you want to take more money? Okay, good luck. Go. Like, he's not going to, in many, many, many cases, that's his thinking. Sometimes he'll maybe break and come up, but the vast majority of the time, all right, too rich, I'm out. All right, too much money,
He likes to win a deal. Yeah,
it's almost like in Succession. It's like when they're about to make the $1 billion deal for a bunch of local news stations. If the guy was happy with the deal on the other end, no. Make the deal with them unhappy. And that's what Greer I think, likes to try to do. He likes to win it.
Yeah, we're almost up. We're up pick 114.
Yeah, man.
CJ West, I just want to say, CJ, he's a guy I had in my top 100. I had him over Ty Hamilton and all those guys. And the league kind of agreed because they took him here. just outside the top 100. I'll tell you about CJ West. I got to give credit to my brother. He put me on him. He told me, hey, you're not doing enough work on CJ West. So I went back and looked. He was right. So shout out to my bro, Will. He had me on CJ West. So he's a good player. Good pick for San Francisco. Look what they've done in the line of scrimmage. They got Mikael Williams. Why is the name? They did some. Who did they do in the second round? Let me escaping my mind.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll look right now. Yeah, let me look right now. Teams, San Fran. San Fran went. Okay. Alfred Collins. Wow. Nick Martin, Upson Stout.
Boy.
They had a theme in mind. They wanted to fix their defense. Yeah, clearly their defense. They got more physical and violent up front. West and Collins. That's something I wouldn't have minded the Dolphins to if they would have traded up.
You know what? That's a good model.
Yeah.
And West, a couple of people said that West would be a fit for the Dolphins. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm still in this D tackle market. They could definitely double dip.
Yeah. Let's go back
Arizona. Did Arizona go defensive line?
Arizona. Didn't they go?
They're ahead of Miami.
I think they went. Let me see. Arizona teams. Arizona, easy. Well, they went Walter Nolan, Will Johnson, Jordan Birch. Wow, they had a good draft.
There it is. Yeah.
Walter
So they're
Nolan.
all right on the line.
Yeah.
Probably. Now, Marcus Bow, would have been
sign me up. Sign me up.
Good if they did. If they, at this point, do you want him for depth and
yes,
be like the heir apparent to maybe James Daniels or something like? I don't know, but I'd go with the tackle. I liked it. Jalen Travis, Cameron Williams from Texas, if he's still available. Logan Brown, right? Kansas.
Yeah. The thing about Bo is, he can play numerous positions for you. Just if you're going by board, he's the best. At least 3. Yeah, he's the best. I would say, Bo, right? I would say more right side with Bo than anything. He's a 3-year starter at Purdue. He's a right tackle, right? So he give you right tackle, right guard depth.
Throw him a guard, swing tackle too.
But he's got some ability. Like I said, a lot of Zach Tom to him. When I watched him, he's a 3-year starter at Purdue. He was in my, I think it was in the 70s or 80s for me. So he'd be a top player left on the board. I'm a big Marcus Bo fan. I'd be okay with it, Jason. Honestly, he'd give you depth, and don't be surprised he starts somewhere.
I said the Dolphins could be looking at him at 48, not obviously assuming they would trade up for Jonah and knowing that Jonah would be gone, thinking maybe Tate Ratledge would be gone, whatever. But if you can get Jonah and Bow, amazing, fine. He's the best, highest rated lineman or guard, rather, on the NFL tracker board right now.
Dolphins are on the clock.
Yep.
Sammy, who went at 115? Do you know? Or 114? Because I'm at 114. Did they trade? Because I'm at 114. Maybe the other picks are in.
The pick is in for the Cardinals. Dolphins are on the clock. Trevor Etienne.
Travis Etienne. Sorry, went to Carolina. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what the Cardinals do here. Boy, what's funny is I know the conversation is Sanders is going to be on board with Dolphins Twitter.
Say what? What was that?
The conversation is Shedeur Sanders is on the board with Dolphins Twitter, but the drop could be far with him. I don't get it. I don't.
I know there are people who are thinking it's going to happen now.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if they brought that in.
I'd be surprised, and I wouldn't.
I'd be really surprised.
I think it would.
It'd give us a lot to talk about. I tell you that.
Well, that's what we love, but I don't like anxiety and headaches. That's.
Yeah, those two things aren't good. We got enough of that in life, right?
You ain't kidding.
All right, so Arizona pick is in. So let's see where Arizona goes. And then we'll see who's on the clock for the Miami Dolphins.
Cody Simon, linebacker.
Okay, so here's the board. Here's the best available on the board for the Miami Dolphins. You have your pick. Chat, where do you want to go? I'm leaning, man, those Jalen Royals, Amon War, Farmer. They could go Quincy Riley here. That he's one of the guys that can be a starting corner. I probably would go in a little bit different direction based on my board, or Billy Bowman Jr.
I love Bowman.
Yeah, that's another guy. Either one of these guys. Bowman Jr., Quincy Riley, Joshua Farmer, Royal, Amonwar, Marcus Bow. You can go in a number of different directions. Safeties, the Ransom. So who's on the clock here? Did we? What is the Texans on the clock?
We traded out.
We traded out. Wow.
We traded out.
Wow. Dolphins trade out. What do we?
Dolphins trade out with the Texans.
Okay. What did we get? Let's go social media. Anybody in the chat know what we got? I'm looking for it here, guys. If anybody can find it, I'm looking.
Is that? I mean, that's what I see.
Yeah, I see the tech. I see the Texans. I'm sure somebody has
them out of the round.
Of the round?
I mean, it looks like the Dolphins moved back down. I mean, I don't see them.
Let's see.
Yeah, Miami to Houston.
What did we get? Dolphins trade. Okay, we gave up 116 and 224. We got 179 this year and a 2026 third. We got a third round pick next year.
Oh boy.
Here you go. Clown Prince has got it.
Can you text it to me? Can you DM to my Twitter?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. While I'm doing that, give us your thoughts, Jason. I know you're all over the place.
Well, I had a feeling they'd have a partner of trading, but I didn't think it would be down.
I sent it to you.
Wow. Thank you.
So they don't pick. They have 3 5s. Yeah, Field Yates. I'll send you Field Yates version.
Wow. Yeah, send me that. Yes.
We got we picked up a 3 next year.
All right. As Sammy said, credit to Sammy. Because Sammy's formula worked because we got a pick that was better in round in the following year, which is exactly what Sammy would say that we would have maybe had to have given up. So kudos to Sammy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, man, the only thing is that we really got 2 guys at the top. I didn't expect a gap this big for the needs that we had. So the gap is going to be 37 to 143. Basically 100 picks.
Do they come back in? I don't know.
Yeah, my head's all over the place. I didn't expect that. Yeah, they could come back in. They got an extra 3 to play with. Let me ask you this. Could they be using that 3 for a player? A corner? Maybe. Or something like that in trade?
I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe they're
Jared Alexander or something like that?
Maybe they're going to do something a little non-drafty with the cornerback position, whether it's in free agency, whether it's a deal, whether it's, scrap heap, so.
Yeah, we traded Jonathan. We traded. You got the detail. What's the details of the trade?
I just got Field Yates.
Yeah, we traded 116 and 224
for pick 179 in next year's third.
Yeah, so our current pick situation is, I got to update that.
I'm going to update it. Yeah, I'm going to update it now.
Let me go see. Let me see if I can go here, and it tells me the team's pick situations. Miami. All right. So it looks like we have a 5. We have 3 5s, 1 6.
They got back in the 6. All right, makes sense.
We got the 3rd pick in the 6th round. So we have 3 5s, a 6, and 2 7s. They did say they like the 4-5 round range. They like where this draft's at. So the only thing, remember I mentioned this draft is very deep and there's not much difference from boards, in rounds, and pick the guy 75 to guy 150 on a lot of these teams' boards. It's pick your flavor. Now, somebody's going to be rated higher than somebody a little bit. Nobody's the same, but it's a big gap. 137, we're not picking again till the 2nd pick in the 5th round. I didn't expect that kind of gap. It's a little disappointing that, now we got 2 starters. We went clean, but we got this huge gap in the roster. They're going to have to hit some home runs here. Maybe they're looking at lotto tickets. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 5th-round picks. Is that correct? 4 5th-round picks, a 6, and 2 7s.
No. I think they only have the 3 5th-round picks.
3?
Yeah. Let me just double check.
Yeah, double check. Well, the Rams just got pick 117. They gave up 127.
Yeah,
and
they have
and,
right
and
now.
went
Go ahead, I'm
190th.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Hold on, let me just refreshing. Refresh. Yeah, they traded out, so they got 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7.
So there's 3.
Okay.
There's 3
Yeah.
5s. They're so late, ESPN, on updating
Yeah.
their. This happened last night. Remember, they had a 4, and there was a Where are you looking for? Where do you find that out, Jason?
What exactly? What are you asking?
The pick.
Sorry.
The picks where the Dolphins current picks.
I was staring at the tracker. It happened,
Oh,
and then
okay,
immediately
okay.
NFL draft tracker. When you click teams and their pick lot, it'll
Okay.
list.
All right, man. So your initial reaction now here?
I mean, this is again him slow playing the draft. He thinks that he's going to get players that he wants. He's going to get capital in another round that he's vacant, and he's going to get something for next year. So, okay, it's boring,
Yes.
but it's effective, kind of. You know what I mean? Or we'll see if it's going to work. But I don't hate it. Bobby, right now, if he's watching, I'm sorry, brother. I know you want to pick.
Yeah,
but
if he was on something, if he was on this show, we'd have some interesting comments, right? Because he couldn't handle it. Here's the thing. Pretty sure Greer must be accumulating capital for a trade. I kind of agree with that. I think this could be
another thing too.
This 26th third could be for a veteran.
I'll tell you what right now, folks.
Yeah.
You trade Jalen Ramsey and that for something.
True. A good corner. Well, a corner, maybe a guy we don't even realize is available right now, right?
I don't.
Jared Alexander, somebody that I know.
Jared Alexander is another veteran with injury. I
don't think you need.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Man, shout out to the 412 people we have watching. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe and like button.
Got like 5 more minutes, and then I gotta hit soccer.
I think we might as well, unless Jonathan wants to jump on here, we might as well end it pretty soon here and then come back later because there's a huge gap to the pick. What do you think? I mean, I hate to do it with 413 people, but maybe that's something.
So listen. If something crazy happens, I'm a phone call away, but at the very, very minimum, following soccer, I'll be back around 3:00. Because look, we're back. We got time.
Yeah.
If something happens, whatever.
They're not going to pick until right now. Who knows? They could use that and move back up. You know, they could pick at any time. You know, they have 3 multiple fifths. They can take 2 of those, move up, or vice versa, and take capital even from next year. But they agree with Robert. There's no starters in the 5th, but they're very clearly they like the 2 guys they got, and they like the depth of this draft. Again, they may be Billy Bowman Jr. just went to the Falcons. This doesn't make me feel any better.
Oh, the Falcons got Watts and Bowman Jr.?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the Falcons this year.
Gosh.
They
went, man.
Well, Latham Ransom would be my guy there too.
Cody Simon, they have an update. Oh, the running back, 2 running backs went. Woody Marks and Jarquez Hunter.
Okay.
Went. So running backs.
Receivers.
Your guy Damian Martinez still hasn't went. Receivers, no receivers went. Oh, after Aaron Smith, no receivers. Best available, still Shedeur Sanders. The 2 wide receivers, Farmer. I love Dylan Simpson. I don't know how he's still available. Gunnar Helm, the tight end. Marcus Bowe. Remember, Zach Tomlin on day 3. And, Green Bay's reaping that benefits now. This is a guy who, again, goes in day 3. Miles Frazier. Mitchell Evans is one of the most underrated tight ends in this draft. He's big, 265-pound tight end who's a wide inline guy, 3-down potential. Zoff Frazier, the corner, the big, long developmental corner, but he's real good. Long.
I'm upset.
Cameron Williams, another offensive lineman. You could probably kick inside or play tackle. Jack Sawyer's still available.
I know. Ohio State edge. That's crazy.
Crazy. Pretty sure Sanders is going back to college since he didn't pick an agent, I believe. Is that true? Can you
say that again?
He said, pretty sure Sanders is going back to college since he didn't pick an agent, I believe.
Oh, my goodness. I have no idea about that.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know if he wants to do this again. You know what I mean? That seems like a lot, man. So the Dolphins currently these are their picks. Let me go now see if they updated here. The picks, man. I didn't see that one coming.
Neither did I.
We thought all right. So, okay, it still says 4. Oh, they had Savanea the second round. Sorry, I don't know why I was looking at 5-5. It threw me off. Yeah, they have 3 5s, a 6, and 2 7s. So, would it surprise me they take a couple of those 5s and go up? Maybe not. And then they picked up a third round pick for next year, or is that third round pick potentially for capital for a trade for a guy after the draft or during the draft? And we got the whole, like you mentioned, Jason, the whole Jalen Ramsey situation.
Anything's on the table.
Yeah, anything. You're right. Anything's on the table. I mean, they could literally trade up at any moment. But I agree. Good for them picking up a 2026 third round pick. That I think that gives them more capital. They'll probably have 2 4s. Again, could be for a trade for a veteran. You never know. When do we get another pick? We get another pick at 143, I believe. 143. Yeah. And we're at pick 119. Yeah, we're at pick 119. Man. That's interesting.
Solid deal.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good. I mean, look, it's good capital for next year. The only thing is we thought they wanted 3 or 4 starters to come out. I guess they said as long as we got 2 guys on the offensive line, and maybe they're bored. They didn't love anybody here, right? Maybe they thought they can get a similar player at 143, and they pick up number 3 next year, and they also pick up a 6. Where we talk about the gap in the beginning of the draft, but they also had a gap at the end of the draft there. We can tell which teams are wanting to win. It ain't us. Well, look,
we knew that this was a rebuild. They're rebuilding the trenches and they're building their nest. We know this.
The problem is they're letting the same GM do it. I guess that's the frustration, right? That's everybody's frustration.
Or he's setting the table. Or there's a table.
Or he's setting the table. He moves up. Yeah, he's not leaving the organization. That's not happening. But he might move up to a higher role, and then somebody like a Champ Kelly or Marvin Allen gets more involved in the draft, and he kind of becomes what he does well. Is a connector, a hub connector, kind of facilitates and gathers people and builds. That's kind of Chris Greer's role. And he can let somebody else, you may give input, but let somebody else to really focus on the draft. So it's kind of a promotion / demotion.
Really? Well, we'll see. I mean,
yeah. We don't know. This is a speculation.
We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's speculation on our
I have to head out for the soccer game, George.
Right.
You're the best. Thanks for dealing with the little technical difficulties earlier, but we will be back.
Yes.
Are you hanging around? You hanging around?
I'll sign this off here. I'll sign this off here. You can just jump off, do your thing.
Fins up, everybody.
We'll be back. Yeah. All right. Guys, we're here with you. Jason Sarney was just with us. He just had to go. We had, to recap, we had pick 116. We traded it for a number 3 next year. We picked up a 6. So we have a 3 5s, 1 6, and 2 7s. We don't pick it to 143. If nobody wants to come up and jump on, I know we have 400 people watching. We'll come back on live later when Jason gets back. We should have picks in. We'll recap everything. We can come back. You guys come back. Go relax. Take a deep breath. Come back with this. We'll be back on probably around 3 o'clock, something like that. We'll have a better idea of what the picture looks like, and we might even take you all the way through the rest of the draft. Thank you, the 400 people watching. We will be back later. I appreciate you guys. As always, guys, stay Fins faithful. We're out. We'll be back in the afternoon here, recapping everything. Thanks, everybody, for joining.